Hey guys, it's Mr. Haas here. I want to talk to you today about fronts, and we're going to start with cold fronts. So, the thing to remember with fronts is the name of the front tells you the type of air that is moving into the area. So, when we have a cold front, what that tells us is that cold air is moving into an area that has warmer air. And the front is that leading edge of that air. And in this case, the leading edge of the cold air. So if you look on the diagram or the picture here, you can see there's this big mass of cold air and it is moving. And on this leading edge, we call that a front. And in this case, because it's cold air moving, we call it a cold front. Now, since that cold air is moving into an area that is mostly warm air, you got to remember, warm air is full of water vapor, right? That humid, warm, moist air. When that warm air hits the cool air, that warm air gets pushed up, just like we learned about convection. Warm air rises, cool air always sinks. So that cool air stays down, the warm air gets pushed up, and it gets pushed up very fast because these cold fronts move rather quickly. And as they move through and the warm air gets pushed up, the water vapor goes up where it is cooler up in the atmosphere. So that water vapor then condenses. And since it's being thrown up so high, it forms these real tall clouds. And we know those to be cumulonimbus clouds. So whenever you hear that a cold front is coming into the area or an area, your area, you want to think about possible strong, severe storms, tornadoes, thunder, lightning, possibly hail, um, and strong winds. You get a lot of nasty weather with a cold front. However, that rain and that precipitation, those storms don't last very long. And then after that cold front has moved on, now the cold air is over your area and you are left with cooler, drier air, which means higher pressure. So you'd probably have a nice sunny day. It'll be a little cooler than it was, but it'll be a relatively nice day. That is after the front has come through, though. If you take a look at the symbol down here, you'll see it kind of look like icicles, which is how I remember this is a cold front one, and it's blue. So what that means is the cold front, the cold air is back here, and these arrows point, these little triangles point in the direction that the front is moving. And if you look on the picture, you can see that that little symbol is sitting there as well. So that's what a cold front is. Okay. Again, remember, the front itself is right on the edge where that cold air is hitting the warm air. And since the cold air is the one that is moving, that makes it a cold front and it creates very strong, windy, severe storms with heavy rain, but they only last for a short time, maybe a couple of hours, if that. And then you get the nice, cool, cloudless, dry air behind it, and you get a pretty nice weather. So there's your cold fronts. I hope you enjoyed and learned a little bit about cold fronts.